Welcome back, Flare community. I hope you're all well and having an incredible day as always. And wow, what a day. There's been some explosive news recently coming from Hugo at the recent Apex 2025 event over in Singapore. Specifically during this talk here, this was Hugo talking about XRP staking powered by Flare and trusted execution environments. This happened earlier today, and it was quite an introduction to XRP staking to the XRP community, but also at the end, there was this huge announcement. Coming up here, the announcement was this, a partnership with Vivo Power. Vivo Power and Flare launched definitive strategic partnership to deploy $100 million in XRP for institutional yield. This is bigger than you think. This really solidifies the Flare network as a DeFi hub for institutional investors, those who are looking to earn a yield on their assets. So what we're going to do is we're going to start over here with Crypto Aries video, which is introducing the CEO of Vivo Power. This is Kevin Chin, and he's going to talk a little bit about their initial vision of becoming an XRP powerhouse and how they have ties with the royal family of Saudi. We're going to start with this, we're going to set the foundation, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about the partnership itself.
Simply trying to collect and hold assets in crypto in the long term. Very few, if any of them, are actually looking at the utility of the underlying asset and actually trying to facilitate utility of that asset to grow usage of that asset and to influence the supply and demand of that asset. That's what drew me to Kevin and his team. They have a vision that goes way beyond just buying and holding.
When we launched the XRP treasury strategy, we did so in tandem with our anchor lead investor, who is one of the members of the royal family of Saudi Arabia. So His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz, as it turns out, and this is how the sort of meeting of the minds came about, he himself has been a long-term XRP holder since 2017. And so when we were chatting a few months ago, I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe we should explore doing this together. So he and his cohort have committed 121 mil as the first step for us. In tandem with that and separate to that, we're also raising through the public markets in excess of 100 mil. So in total, targeting a $200 million plus raise as the kickoff. And with respect to what portion of that we will allocate to a venture capital fund, if you like, we're thinking initially 10 to 20 million, but we would be very open to increasing that materially to say a target of 100 million, depending on the sort of size of the opportunity pool that we see.
And that opportunity arrived in the form of Flare. So we can see that 100 million is being dedicated to the Flare network in this historical partnership. But I want to play this video again, a segment from Crypto Aries interview, and I really want you to pay attention to Adam Trademan, who is the advisor for Vivo Power, and he's had some very deep ties with Ripple and the SBI branch over in Asia, and listen to just what he talks about creating this halo effect, supercharging the ecosystem surrounding XRP. This company, Vivo Power, is almost like what MicroStrategy has with Bitcoin, but with XRP. And they're not just going to hold the XRP. No, they're actually going to be earning a yield on this through Flare while simultaneously supporting the ever-expanding ecosystem. We know that Flare gives tremendous value to XRP holders by unlocking the value and offering a plethora of different opportunities and decentralized applications for XRP.
Well, I think what makes companies like Strategy by Michael Saylor so successful is that they are able to lever up the ROI to their shareholders beyond just the net asset value. They use a metric called MNAV to kind of show how the value of the company is higher than the value of the underlying asset. It's actually very impressive what Michael's been able to do, because Bitcoin doesn't have a DeFi and yield generation component to the blockchain, right? And XRP doesn't natively as well. But we're working closely with Ripple, who's releasing EVM compatibility on the blockchain. It's sometime in the not too distant future. I think we're going to have an explosion of DeFi and yield generation opportunities on XRP Ledger. And I think that in addition to just holding XRP, generating yield on XRP, which we certainly want to do for our shareholders, we, as you mentioned and as Kevin alluded to, we want to fund the ecosystem itself. When I was on the board of Ripple, we spent a lot of time working on how we could, as a company, support developers and entrepreneurs who wanted to build on top of XRP Ledger. And we're going to extend that and create a halo effect around what we're doing with Vivo Power by allocating a certain amount of the funds that we're raising to earmark for those developers. And so in addition to leveraging the ecosystem for our shareholders, we're going to help build the ecosystem as well. We adopt a strategy of, instead of us wanting a bigger share of the pie, if you will, Ari, or a bigger profit, we want to grow the pie for everybody. And so that's I think, a unique aspect of Vivo's model.
A unique aspect for sure, and this really just sets the stage for what was announced. This is Hugo on stage making that announcement, and again, this is absolutely incredible, and we're going to run through some of the details in just a moment.
$100 million US in XRP for institutional yield generation.
This announcement was followed up by a signing of documents. This is a contractual strategic partnership, and it's not just words. This is actually going to happen. And as you can see, you got Hugo and the Vivo team there. We're going to move over here to their website. You may be wondering what Vivo Power is. Well, it's actually a NASDAQ listed company. And if we scroll down here, we can see Vivo Power is an international battery technology electric vehicle service company whose core purpose is to deliver sustainable energy solutions to its customers. And Vivo Power is a certified B Corporation that has operations in Australia, Canada, the Netherlands, the Philippines, the UAE, the United States, and the United Kingdom. So very focused on sustainable energy solutions. And this is going to be an absolute powerhouse when it comes to institutional investors bringing validity to the Flare network. And we're going to run through this document here, or this announcement that was just released earlier today. Vivo Power and Flare launch definitive strategic partnership to deploy 100 million in XRP for institutional yield. This marks the first major execution of Vivo Power's new corporate strategy and significant validation of the XRP ecosystem's utility for institutional treasury management. Vivo Power is building a virtuous cycle, generating yield and using it to systematically increase its core XRP position, creating a perpetually compounding engine for shareholder value. And just on a side note here, this is an application, being FAssets and the Firelight staking platform, is something that we can all access. This is going to be Vivo Power's strategy, but it's not a strategy that is excluded from you and me as smaller investors. Vivo Power's strategic transformation to an XRP-centric treasury is supported by a consortium of global shareholders. Flare Network is a 1.9 billion coin market cap enterprise backed by Ripple Labs. Now, we're going to quickly read some of this here, and then we're going to jump over to some more juicy stuff. So, Vivo Power A publicly traded company focused on XRP-centric treasury strategy today announced the launch of a definitive partnership with Fleur to generate yield on its digital assets. The agreement initiates the deployment of Vivo Power's XRP holdings through a scalable framework, beginning with a benchmarked initial phase of 100 million. So notice that this is just an initial phase. So it's also important to note that just 100 million is, it's pretty crazy when you think about it, because as of today, the TVL, the total locked value on the Fleur network, is around 200 million. So this is almost going to immediately increase it, and that's excluding other institutional investors like Uphold, which I'll talk to in a minute, and all of the retail investors as well, which can collectively create quite a lot of interest. This marks the first major execution of Vivo Power's new corporate strategy and a significant validation of the XRP ecosystem's utility for institutional treasury management. This definitive agreement marks a pivotal moment for institutional adoption within the rapidly expanding Fleur ecosystem. The network has already demonstrated significant traction in retail sector through partners like Uphold, a global digital asset platform serving over 10 million users with approximately 7 billion in assets under reserves, and they do hold a very large amount of XRP. Vivo Power's commitment now represents the crucial institutional validation for the ecosystem, establishing the first major treasury management use case on the network. This partnership delivers the first institutional scale validation of Fleur's FAssets system, establishing it as the essential programmable utility layer for the XRP ecosystem. The strategy is designed to be regenerative. Vivo Power will generate yield via protocols on Fleur such as Firelight and reinvest that income directly back into its core XRP holdings, creating a perpetually compounding and capital efficient treasury. Wow, what a sentence that is. And like I said, these strategies are not just exclusive to institutional investors. I'm going to be sharing my personal strategies with the Patreon family, so if you are interested, please feel free to check the link below. Scrolling a little bit further down here in the document, we have this: Fleur, the institutional grade bridge for XRP utility. Vivo Power's selection of Fleur was the result of a rigorous evaluation of its technology, which serves as a secure, institutional grade bridge for XRP to the DeFi ecosystem. Central to this is Fleur's FAssets system, a non-custodial protocol that enables XRP to be used in smart contract applications whilst preserving its native security model. Fleur's broader ecosystem demonstrates significant readiness for institutional activity. Protocols essential to this strategy, such as yield-generating Firelight protocol, are in place. So that makes me think that it is already ready to go. We're just waiting on FAssets and the audits. The network's ability to attract substantial liquidity has been recently demonstrated by the launch of USDT Zero stablecoin, which drove over $90 million worth in total value locked. This robust infrastructure validates Fleur's roles not as a replacement for the XRPL, but as a complementary, programmable utility layer built to expand XRP's reach into compliant, yield-generating finance. Wow, this is absolutely incredible. And if this isn't a buzz that Hugo might be talking about, then I don't know what is. I still think the best is yet to come with the launch of FAssets, but no one saw this partnership coming, and I'm extremely excited for the future. Now, I did talk earlier about an analogy with MicroStrategy to Bitcoin compared to Vivo Power with XRP. As many of you know, MicroStrategy is headed by none other than Michael Saylor, arguably the biggest maximalist in the space. he actually made a decision to put a lot of the company's treasury into Bitcoin back here in August, when you can see the stock was actually trading around $14 to $15. Now, if you fast forward 5 years, you can see the price now is actually hovering around $390. That is an incredible ROI on that investment. And the way that he's leveraging it is very interesting, but it's not the same as what we can expect with Vivo Power, because they actually have yield generating income by utilizing the Flare network. Now, of course, this is not financial advice, but Vivo Power is also traded on the Nasdaq, and this is a publicly traded stock. This is the chart for the past 5 years, and as you can see, it is not the best looking. It looks like it's had an extended bear market, and you know, sometimes at the bottom here, these are the best opportunities to really start building a position. Now, I have took a punt on this purely because if you look back at MicroStrategy's chart and this chart here, I'm excited for what this could potentially bring. Now, obviously, this is high risk. It's a highly volatile asset, but the fact that it is backed by the royal family of Saudi, and with almost 200 million XRP, or $200 million worth of XRP in their treasury, what they're going to utilize with the Flare network to generate a perpetual income yield, it is absolutely crazy. And yeah, I'm just willing to take a little chance on this. Moving along, another institution that you may have heard of is Uphold, a very popular platform serving many millions of customers. And they also announced this too, their interest in the Flare network. Uphold is exploring ways to unlock yield on XRP, including testing XRP staking through Flare Network's FAssets system. As I said before in a previous video, the first domino has fallen. That was Uphold. It seems like Vivo Power is the second domino to fall, and I'm sure there are many more dominoes to follow. So that is pretty much the video, guys. I do want to give a shout out to Crypto Eri for her clips with both Adam and the CEO of Vivo Power. And yeah, be sure to give her a follow if you haven't already. She's been a long-standing member of the XRPL community for quite some time, and obviously inherently the Flare community too. That's the video. I'm super excited for the future. I'm excited for more buses to arrive. I really do hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.
Mission Control, we have liftoff.